Hi there, it's Amy Peters from Beneficial Trust and Will Company, and I just want to talk to you today about when to review a will. Now, commonly we'll come across clients and they'll say, okay, I made a will, I did it 10 years ago, just before I got married. Well, that may be time for an update. So there's been a significant change in life circumstances. We should review wills regularly, but certainly in that circumstance, then we should look at updating your will. And I'll just take you through the example of the Monahan family, where that's particularly relevant. So the mother made a will in 2015, in particularly this case, after her divorce, leaving her £305,000 estate split equally between her three sons, now aged 29, 25 and 17. So she'd had a change in circumstances, and so she'd updated her will to reflect that, or created a will to reflect that. She met someone new happily, and a new partner moved in with her in 2018. But sadly, shortly after, she was diagnosed with cancer. So they subsequently married 7 months later, but shortly after, unfortunately, the mother passed away. What she perhaps didn't realise is the marriage actually made her will invalid, and her sons were subsequently entitled to approximately £9,000 each, rather than the anticipated £100,000 each. And that's because the intestacy rules direct what should happen to the first, at that time, £270,000, now £322,000 of the estate, which would go to the spouse, and then half of that surplus would go to the children. So the result in this particular instance was the £305,000 estate was subject to a legal dispute unless a settlement could be reached between the new husband and the sons. What many people don't realise is that under English law currently, marriage revokes a will unless a will is made in anticipation of marriage. So that means if you currently got a will and you did it before you got married, and there's no expectation to marry clause within the will, then it's likely that the will has been revoked by the act of getting married. So it's worth having a review to make sure that your family don't end up in the same situation. If you'd like some further guidance or advice, then get in touch. We'd be happy to have a chat.